how else have you developed your team and recruited new members into your team to buy into, the customer service levels that you are delivering and to maintain the standards that clients are expecting from you?
Man, that's a great question too, man. I think one of the things that was like just a huge point in my business was 4 years ago, because we had grown and we were, successful from the standpoint of like our revenue looked good, stuff like that. But I just felt like there were some fractures and cracks and things. And so I went through and looked at the data of like how long our cleaners were on site, and like there was just some challenges in the organization. And I sat down and I wrote down everything that I thought was like a major challenge. And then I was like, well, what's the opposite of that? Like I'm gonna tell you, like one of the problems was, again, signing in and signing out. And it just seemed like maybe people didn't care. And so I was, all right, well, people don't care. I don't know if they're there or not. Like, I wrote character. I was like, if our people have character, they'll do things the right way. I wrote another thing and was like, well, if they got to care, so they got to give a crap about doing the right things, or care. I was like, and in communication, like we got to know if there's a problem or somebody needs supplies. So what I did, Matt, and I'd already known this stuff. It's in all the books, right? It was like, what are your core values? And so for me, I wrote down the things that were existing in a lot of my team members that I didn't like. And then I inverted that. I wrote the opposite. And so one of the game changers in our company was into the end of 2018. We lost 25% of our revenue in 6 weeks. Between around the Thanksgiving time period and Christmas of 2018, we lost 25% of our revenue, of our month-over-month revenue.
Wow.
And I was just pissed off, man. I was just mad. And so I wrote down these things. Here's everything I don't like about this. And I wrote the opposite. And so I came up with my mission, vision, and core values, and I incorporated it into our company. I said, our mission is that we're going to go above and beyond to serve people, because I didn't feel like we had been. We're going to go above and beyond to serve people. And from a vision standpoint, I was like, this is the company we're building. We're respected by our clients. I want my clients to respect us. We're appreciated by our team members, because I didn't feel like I was doing a good enough job, like our leadership, of making our team members feel appreciated. So therefore, appreciation is reciprocal. Like, they're not going to appreciate me if I don't appreciate them and make them feel appreciated.
Yeah.
And then the third line was, we are remembered by our community. I'd read in a book that said, hey, if your company, Matt, ceased to exist tomorrow, would anybody miss you? Would anybody even know that you were gone? I was like, well, I want, if that happened to us, I'd want people to know, like, what happened to Athens Cleaning Company? They were doing good things in the community. So it's like, we're going to be respected by our clients, appreciated by our team members, and remembered by our community. And then for us, I'm a big Chick-fil-A fan. I was like, I want to be the Chick-fil-A of cleaning businesses, man. I want people just to recognize customer service, top quality, and things of that nature. So I wrote down that description of those core values, and that was like team member core values. I wrote down what our mission statement was. I wrote down what our vision statement was, and I just started talking about it. And in the process of doing that, what happens is that that repels some people. They're like, some people, I don't want to do relationship first, Josh. I just want to clock in and clock out and be gone. But what happened is we started talking about those values, the mission, the vision, and we started putting it out there in our social media. We put that in our job ads. We started attracting the right people. We also figured out, like, kind of ideally, like, this is what ideal team member looks like. I mentioned this earlier. I'm like, well, I'm looking more so for people who, like, they don't know they want to work for a cleaning company. They don't think they'd ever clean for work. I was like, all right, side gig for professionals. So I started focusing on bank tellers and office managers and teachers, or, parapros, whatever it may be. People they're like, I got this job. I'm not making quite the money I want to make, or I want to save up for vacation, or I want to pay off my student loans. I need to make an extra $300, $400, $500 a month. We started looking for those people. I named them last year. I was like, just getting started, Joanne. This is the person who's they're early in their career. They're just now learning what taxes mean. They're like, I thought I made $30,000 a year. I'm not making $2,500 a month. That's not what I'm bringing home. It's like, that's right. For us in the States, Uncle Sam's getting his cut. Just getting started, Joanne, is the ambitious young person in the first part of their career that needs to make that extra money to pay off student loans. We had soon to retire Stephanie. This is the person who's like, hey, I don't have enough for retirement. And so I got my desk job. Let me get out of my desk job and get some steps in and make a little extra money to put into savings so I can quit this desk job a little bit sooner. And then we had homeschool mom, Megan. And Matt, whether she needed the money or not, she just needed a break from her kids, right? She's at home with her kids. Yeah. She just needs, a trip to the grocery store can get canceled out. Yeah. A trip to the bank to clean on a Wednesday night can't. She's got to show up at the bank. So we got really clear on, this is who we're looking for. This is what they look like. This is probably what kind of jobs they're in. We got really specific on that. And when you get specific on what you're looking for, you start to see more of what you're looking for. You figure it out. You figure out, okay, what do I need to say to homeschool mom Megan to make this particular job appeal to her? So instead of it just being a huge wide net of, we're going to take all these clients and we're going to take all these team members. It's like, I get specific. No, if I'm looking for the color red, I can find the color red. But if I'm just looking for pretty colors, I'm like, oh, there's there. It's how do I attract the pretty colors? Well, I don't know. How can I can figure out how to attract just the color red? So that was the big thing for us, is getting clear on here's who we are, here's what we're about, here's what we're building, and this is the team we're looking for. And we started being able to attract that team. And they resonated with the mission, vision, and the core values.